Kathy here, and excited to bring you week 2 of short, engaging fraction activities you can do starting at the beginning of the year with your 3rd graders, right? So the first week we reintroduced them to halves and thirds. This week we're going to reintroduce them to fourths, as well as introduce them to sixths, all through a fun activity I like to call sharing shifts. So we're still doing some sharing activities, and we're going to stick with circles. And I'm going to ask the students to design their favorite pizza. So I'm going to give each student a circle and just maybe 2 minutes, say quickly with some colored pencils, markers, how would you, what ingredients would you put on your pizza, right? So that's just the fun creative part, making it real life a little bit. And then we ask them, if you have 4 people that you would like to share your perfect pizza with, how would you divide up your circle? So give the students a little bit of time. They're probably comfortable with this. Fold it in half again. Okay, and we can cut them if you want, so we would have 1 piece out of 4. And hearing that vocabulary, and you had your circle, we were able to cut it in half, just like here, and then we cut it in half again going across. So fourths are kind of related to halves, aren't they? Yeah. So you can demo that, or you can have them go out and do that activity with sharing. And then now we have to share our dessert. We're going to make a pizza dessert. So this is my model. I made cinnamon and sugar dots because I love cinnamon, sugar, and butter all over my pizza, or a dessert pizza anyway. So this time I want you to share it with 6 people. You're going to share your dessert pizza with 6 people. This one is brand new. It might be a little bit more of a struggle, so again we can practice our attitudes when we're faced with something that's kind of frustrating and how we handle ourselves. But let the kids practice a little bit and then have them come up and share. Maybe some of them said, well, I cut it in half, I fold it in half, and then I just carefully looked to see where I could equally share those spaces. Another way is if you bring a tip down and you bring it here, if you can gauge halfway and make equal spaces here and here, and you fold, and you then fold on top, it's like an ice cream cone upside down. We were able to create 3 spaces on our half, which created 6 pieces. So probably might need to model that, or maybe some of your students come up with that, or maybe you recognize that they're struggling too much and you would put this to the side and maybe have them practice in a center a little bit. So making 6th. Another student might say, well, like I said, we cut it just like we did thirds. I came down, came across, and then I know that if I cut each one into 2 parts, I'll have 6. So there's a couple ways. A couple teacher side notes. I'm not necessarily referring to these as unit fractions at this time. I mean, you can, I don't think there's anything wrong or right, but I really am just designing friendly, very graspable concepts at the beginning of the year. So I don't know if I would mention that these are unit fractions until I get to the point where we're going to be counting these. So we really are just living in this unit fraction idea without necessarily calling them unit fractions at this time. That's just my personal preference. Also, I skipped fifths. I kind of was going in order, but some standards call out only certain fractions for 3rd grade, like halves, thirds, fourths, sixths, and eighths. But you might check into yours. But also the research shows that we want kids, especially in 3rd grade, exploring with friendly fractions. And so fifths, not as friendly as fourths and sixths and even thirds to that degree. So that's why I skipped those. But again, that's it. I am just wanting the kids to be introduced and reintroduced to these words, these fractions. So, till next time.